3 different customers walked into my shop last month. 3 different cars. 3 different repair bills, all above $3,000. Every single one of them told me the same thing when they bought. I did my research. Most people shopping for a used car under $15,000 are one bad purchase away from a repair bill that costs more than the car itself. I've watched it happen hundreds of times. And the worst part? The cars that destroy people's budgets aren't the ones anyone warns you about. They're the ones that look safe on paper. 20 years of wrenches tell you things no car review will ever print. And the car at number 1 on this list? I had a full argument about it with a used car lot manager. He told me I was out of my mind. His customer called me 8 weeks later, after a $5,200 bill. You're going to want to know which car it was. Stick around. Here's what this video is. It's 3 specific used cars, all findable under $15,000 right now, that I would personally hand the keys to a family member and say, buy it, drive it, don't think about it again for 200,000 miles. Not theoretical reliability. Not magazine scores. What I've actually seen hold up on my lift, across thousands of jobs, across a decade and a half of real ownership data from real people. We're counting down from 3 to 1. Number 3 is strong. Number 2 surprised me when I looked at the numbers side by side. And number 1? It's the car that makes dealership service advisors genuinely uncomfortable. Because if everyone bought it, half their upsell revenue disappears overnight. One thing before we get into it. I'm going to tell you not just what to buy, but the exact year, the exact engine, and the one inspection you can do in your driveway that tells you whether a specific example is worth your money. Because the model name alone means nothing. The year and the engine mean everything. Keep that in mind. Car number 3, Honda Civic 2014 to 2018. Number 3 comes with a warning I'm going to give you right up front. This car has a factory defect that Honda tried to quietly bury in a class action lawsuit. And if you buy the wrong year or the wrong engine, you could be looking at $2,500 to $3,100 out of pocket before you've hit 80,000 miles. 2017 Honda Civic EX, 1.5-liter turbo. 61,000 miles. Guy bought it because every consumer review on Earth called it a top pick. Brought it in because the AC stopped working. I pulled the condenser and it looked like Swiss cheese. Microscopic holes all through the tube walls, leaking our 1234YF refrigerant. He had no idea there was an extended warranty on that exact part. Honda covered it, but only because he came to me first. If he'd walked into a dealer, they would have sold him a full AC compressor replacement at $1,527 before I could blink. Here's what that story means for you. The 2016, 2017, and 2018 Civic with the 1.5-liter turbocharged engine. Those are the AC problem years. Honda issued a technical service bulletin, extended the condenser warranty to 10 years and unlimited miles, and then quietly extended the compressor seal warranty to match. Before you buy any of those cars, pull the VIN, run it through Honda's recall database, and verify that all TSB work is already done. That's a 10-minute check that can save you $1,500. Now here's the part nobody talks about, and this one is about the engine, not the AC. The 1.5-liter turbo has a documented oil dilution problem. Unburned fuel from the direct injection system slips past the piston rings and into the engine oil. Here's the thing that throws people off. Your oil level doesn't go down. It goes up. You pull the dipstick and you're above the full mark. You think the car is fine. You're not fine. You've got gasoline thinning out your engine oil, and your sump only holds 3.3 quarts to begin with. Honda's official fix was a software update and advice to drive longer distances. That is not a fix. That is a suggestion. The real fix is this. If you buy a 1.5-liter turbo Civic, change that oil every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. Not the 7,500 the dash computer tells you. The computer was programmed before anyone understood how bad this dilution gets in cold weather or on short commutes. The manual was written by people who want you back in the service bay. If the oil dilution goes unmanaged long enough, you're looking at camshaft and rocker arm failure. Honda extended the powertrain warranty specifically because of it. 6 years, unlimited miles. But if that coverage has expired and the engine is worn, CVT replacement starts at $2,800 and runs to $8,000 depending on who's doing the work. Here's your pre-purchase check for any 2016 to 2018 Civic with the 1.5-liter. Pull the oil dipstick cold before the engine runs. If the level is at or above the full mark and the oil smells faintly like gasoline, Walk away from that specific car. A good example will have clean oil at the right level. That check takes 30 seconds. No tools. Do it every time. And if you want to skip all of this entirely, buy the 2014 or 2015 Civic with the 1.8-liter naturally aspirated engine, or the 2017 to 2018 Sport trim with the 2.0-liter and a 6-speed manual. No turbo. No direct injection. No oil dilution. No AC recall. That's the configuration I'd put my own kit in. RepairPal puts annual Civic repair costs at $368, third lowest of any compact car on the market. The right Civic, with the right engine, maintained correctly, it'll hit 200,000 miles without a single major repair. The wrong Civic will introduce you to your local repair shop faster than you want to meet them. That was number 3. If you think that's the car with the hidden issues nobody talks about, wait until you hear what number 2 is hiding. Because this one? Nobody expected it to be this good. Car number 2, Toyota Camry 2014 to 2017. Number 2 on this list is a car that most people write off as boring, and that dismissal is costing them thousands of dollars. Because while the competition was switching to CVTs, those belt-driven transmissions that turn into $4,000 paperweights when they fail, Toyota kept the Camry on a proven 6-speed torque converter automatic. That single decision is worth more than every feature on every rival's spec sheet. I had a guy call me last year. 2017 Camry LE, 2.5-liter. He'd been driving it for Uber, not light use. 3 years, 100,000 miles. Called me because his alternator was making noise. I put it on the lift. Original struts. Original transmission. Original engine with no leaks, no smoke, no codes. I replaced the alternator, $490 including labor, and sent him back out. One repair in 100,000 miles of commercial use. Tell me which CVT does that. Here's the part that genuinely surprised me when I looked into it. The Camry V6, the 3.5-liter 2GRFE, is the same engine block that Toyota put into the Lotus Evora, a genuine sports car. It produces 268 horsepower, and it does 0 to 60 in about 6.2 seconds. You are getting that engine in a used Camry for under $13,000. The V6 does have one recurring issue. The water pump can go at 30,000 to 50,000 miles on some examples, and the front timing cover develops an oil seep at high mileage. Neither of those is catastrophic. Water pump replacement runs $300 to $500. Timing cover is an afternoon job if caught early. The 4-cylinder is the better long-term play for pure reliability. The V6 is the better play if you want to quietly embarrass people at traffic lights and still spend $388 a year on average repairs. Camry annual repair cost, $388 on average, according to RepairPal. That's 40% below the industry average for mid-size cars. The biggest single expenses you're likely to see are AC compressor failure at $1,500 to $2,300 and dashboard cracking, particularly on 2014 models in hot climates, which runs $2,000 or more to properly replace. Avoid the 2014 dashboard issue by buying a 2015 or later, or inspecting the dash for cracks before you sign. Before you buy any 2014 to 2017 Camry, here's your 60-second inspection. Start the car cold and listen for a rattling noise in the first 30 seconds of idle. That's the VVTi telling you the oil maintenance was neglected. If you hear it, negotiate the price down and budget $400 to $600 for the TSB repair. If you don't hear it, and the oil is clean and dark amber on the dipstick rather than black sludge, you've got a healthy engine. Second, sit inside and press every point on the dashboard. Any soft spots or cracks on a 2014 model are a $2,000 future bill. Factor that into your offer. For the transmission, it's a 6-speed automatic, so there's no CVT fluid drama. Check for a dark, burnt-smelling transmission fluid on the dipstick. Clear, red fluid means it's been serviced. Black fluid means deferred maintenance. Budget $180 for a full fluid flush and move on. Real quick, if this kind of straight talk saves you money, hit subscribe. I've got more coming that dealerships would genuinely prefer you never see. Who should buy the Camry? You need more room than a compact offers, you're planning to own it for 10+ years, and you want the peace of mind that comes from a traditional automatic transmission in a world that's gone CVT crazy. This car will outlast your car payment, probably your mortgage, and maybe your patience with rush hour traffic. Who should walk away? You want something that moves you emotionally. This car does not move you emotionally. It moves you from point A to point B for 200,000 miles without complaint. If that's not enough, the Camry is not your car. Alright, that's number 2. And now, number 1. This is the car a dealership manager told me was overrated. His exact words. I told him his customers were getting ripped off. He told me to prove it. So I'm going to prove it, with data he can't argue with, right now. Car number 1. Toyota Corolla 2016 to 2019. The Toyota Corolla has the lowest annual repair cost of any compact car rated by RepairPal. $362 a year. Number 1 out of 36 cars in its class. The probability of a severe repair in any given year is 7%. The industry average is 12%. I've had Corolla owners come in for nothing but oil changes for 5 years straight. I've had Corolla owners hit 300,000 miles and ask me what to do next. I tell them, keep driving. 2017 Corolla LE, CVT, 143,000 miles. The owner is a home health aide. She drives constantly, all city miles, parking lot to parking lot. She came in last spring for a routine oil change. I pulled the car up and checked everything. Original CVT, original timing chain. No leaks, no codes, no issues. The only things that had ever been replaced in 143,000 miles were brake pads, tires, and a set of spark plugs. Total maintenance spent over 6 years. She estimated about $2,400. That includes every oil change she ever paid for. You cannot replicate that with most cars at that mileage. Now, back to that dealership manager. He told me the Corolla's CVT was a liability, that CVTs are unreliable. He pointed to Nissan's Jatco units as the example. And he's right about Nissan's CVT. He's dead wrong about Toyota's. The Aisin K313 in these Corollas is a completely different engineering philosophy. Toyota forums document these transmissions running to 300,000 and even 500,000 miles. The failure rate in the real-world data is essentially zero when maintained. His customer called me 2 months later because she'd bought the Nissan his lot was pushing instead. That's the $5,200 bill I mentioned at the top of this video. Here's why the Corolla CVT isn't the same conversation as every other CVT on the market. The Aisin unit runs cooler, it was engineered with tighter tolerances from the start, and Toyota issued free service campaigns, campaign codes J0D and JSD, to update the CVT software on 2014 through 2017 models, addressing any minor shuddering before it became a real problem. The engine underneath it is a 1.8-liter naturally aspirated 2ZR engine. Port fuel injected, no turbo, no direct injection carbon buildup. It runs on regular 87 octane. And it uses a timing chain instead of a belt, so there's no $500 to $1,000 timing belt replacement sitting in your future. Toyota engineered this car for people who want zero drama. They succeeded. One note, the early 2015 production Corollas, particularly LE Eco trim, had a valvomatic actuator issue that Toyota fixed mid-cycle in late 2015 and early 2016. If you're buying a 2015, check the build date on the door jamb sticker. Late 2015 production and everything 2016 and newer got the revised engine. That's the car you want. The biggest expenses I've seen on these Corollas: AC compressor failure runs $928 to $1,221, uncomfortable but not catastrophic. Water pump replacement at 90,000 to 150,000 miles runs $423 to $545. Infotainment screen issues on 2015 models run $1,000 plus if you go OEM, though aftermarket units are under $200. That's the complete list of things I'd budget for. No transmission, no engine, no timing belt, 3-line items. Here's the pre-purchase inspection for any 2016 to 2019 Corolla. Check the CVT fluid. It should be pink or light red, not brown or burnt smelling. Toyota's official position is no scheduled CVT fluid change. Every experienced mechanic I know ignores that. Change it every 50,000 to 60,000 miles. The fluid costs about $40. A shop will do the drain and fill for $150 to $250. Do this once, and you've neutralized the only real long-term maintenance question mark on this car. Second check. Look for the Toyota Safety Sense badge on any 2017 or newer Corolla. That's pre-collision warning, lane departure alert, and adaptive cruise control, standard equipment. You're getting active safety technology at a price point where competitors are still charging extra for it. That matters when you're keeping this car for 200,000 miles. Who should buy this car? You want the lowest possible total cost of ownership. You're driving it until the wheels fall off. You want something that starts every morning, every winter, every time, without drama, without apology, without a service appointment. You are done shopping for cars. Who should walk away? You need to feel something when you drive. You want the latest tech. You're buying it to flip it in 3 years. None of those people are the Corolla's customers. And the Corolla doesn't care. 20 years at the bench, and I've never once recommended against a well-maintained Corolla. That's not something I can say about many cars. That's not something I can say about most cars. Drop a comment and tell me which of these 3 you've owned, and what your highest mileage was. I want to see who wins. I've got a customer at 340,000 miles on a Corolla I'm going to be very hard to beat. 3 cars. $362 to $388 a year in average repairs. Transmissions that don't implode. Engines that run on regular gasoline for 200,000 miles. That's what 20 years of shop data actually looks like. Not what a magazine tells you, not what a dealership wants you to believe. You now know more about what actually lasts than 90% of buyers walking onto a used car lot this weekend. Next time a salesman uses the word reliable, you know exactly which questions to ask. What engine? What's the CVT fluid history? Watch them sweat. Now, if you want to know the cars I actively tell people to avoid, the ones I've seen bankrupt owners with repair bills larger than the car's value, I made a full video on that. It's the flip side of this list, and it's right here. Watch that before you go anywhere near a used car lot. That's 20 years of experience talking. Like, subscribe and share with your loved ones going to the dealer lot this weekend. Take it or leave it. I'll see you in the next one.